ooh. Nice. Can you tell I liked it? Hello, welcome to this video. My name's Dan, aka Lucen. I'm a singer-songwriter slash podcaster slash music person, and today I'm going to be reacting to Magdalena Bay's IMAGINAL DISK album. So let's go. Cool. Right. So actually, this was actually an album request over on Patreon. Just after it came out, actually, the lovely Selena requested this album. Usually what happens is those reactions are kind of exclusive to patrons as like a little bonus, because often they're like more niche, right? But this one, I had so many of you asking and commenting, asking about what I thought about it, and like you wanted to see my reaction video. So I decided to edit it, and here it is. But obviously it didn't have an intro, so here's the intro. I've heard a bit of Magdalena Bay. I heard their first album, which was another Patreon request. So if you're desperate for that one too, then let me know in the comments. My Mercurial World reaction is up on Patreon currently in its current form without the editing. Because that's the thing, so the editing takes forever, as I'm sure you know. But yes, so if you want to check that out, it's on Patreon. Yeah. But before I cut back into the bit where I actually filmed this, if you love what I have to say and you want to get more involved, there are multiple ways in which you can do that. First, just subscribe to the channel and get all my videos. Second, you can actually listen to my podcast, which is all about underrated music and digging into lesser known songs from popular artists with different guests every week. Gets a bit more in deep than I have time to do on these reactions. And we've done episodes focused on Lana, Taylor, Kate Bush, Wolf Alice, Florence and the Machine, loads. Yeah, and you can also check out my music and see what my kind of creative output is like if you're interested in that too. Yeah, all the links for everything is below. So yeah, cut back a month or whatever it was. Go. Hello. Here we are. How are you? Oh, welcome to the new studio. Let's have a listen. Let's have a little listen. So the first song is She Looked Like Me. Let's go. It's like starting up with some kind of machine. Okay. Lots of little samples or clips together. Very kind of chibi vocal styling. Interesting. There is a childlike element to this. Ooh, I love that really deep synth coming in. Cool. It's like an impending doom, isn't it? Got like a gradual dynamic build. This is really cool. This is more experimental, right? The use of sampling is really cool. Something's changed about the tempo. Okay. Cool, okay. I'm loving the drama in this. Feels like a real opening statement, doesn't it? You know, I like an album that opens with something big and bold. There's a kind of such a feeling of building tension and anxiety in this. It's almost like overwhelming. I love like making like a melody out of like, it's quite in the background, but making a melody out of like samples, you know? It's all kind of like jagged. Cool. Yeah, really bold opening statement. Seems like they're really... Oh, hello. Oh my God. You could pause. Thank you. Sorry, it's the morning and my voice is a bit fucked. I should do my vocal warm-ups before I start recording. Yes, really bold opening statement. Really seems to be they're focusing on sampling, maybe over synthesis. I feel like a big takeaway I got from the first album was like heavy on synthesis, heavy on like created electronic sounds, whereas this one like really has started off with like we are going to be sampling and this is maybe going to be the focus like musically. It's almost like a mixture of like kind of old machinery. I feel like I heard like an arcade kind of like Mario jumping noise or something at some point. So maybe something like that, like all kind of like chopped into little sections so that it creates this melody, creates this rhythm to kind of in built up samples. So it kind of has this like patchwork feeling, doesn't it? That's like very much telling me this is about sampling, you know, because like if you were to kind of sample in a subtle way, then it's like, okay, that's not the main thing, but this is like not subtle. This is like distinctive patchwork styling. So it's like the style of this album, I feel like it's going to use that kind of patchwork quality. At least that's what they're telling you in the first song. Let's have a look at the lyrics. Seems to be like stuff about growing up and stuff. Down the line, over the waves, 2 kids and a military turn their tongue, change their name. La Love, born to marry, or LA Love, born to marry, cross their hearts, crossing the earth 1 year, then a baby's carried, grows up young, screams at graves, bang, bang, and it's customary, ordinary. That seems to be like telling the kind of expected life cycle of a human being within society. No frills, no breaking out of the mold, having 2 kids, changing their names, getting married. It's kind of almost like you're destined to kind of follow this one path. Yeah, then you get a baby and then it all starts again, you know, and then they're dead. It's ordinary, you know, whatever. Kid hears ghosts singing his name like guns and he's pissed already. That's his curse, that's my name. He sings up to the moon unchaining. Seems to be a kind of anti-war about children taking in like guns and warfare, and you know, there's definitely multiple references to war and about shooting and death and stuff, which actually, like, when you think about like the way in which it was sung at the beginning, like really childlike, almost, I think maybe it was pitched up, kind of had that kind of chipmunk vibe to it, like that childlike element within the context of like, this is you as a child, this is what you're destined to do. You're going to go off to war and you're going to die, or like you're going to grow up and you're going to have kids and then, you know, the cycle starts again. It's like this feeling of being entrapped within what is expected of you from society. And then the sound of the song really does match that. And that kind of existential dread really comes through in those kind of anxious, really tension-y moments. You know, then you know what she did. She shot me like an earthbound bullet. Then she wrapped her hands around my neck and I felt love, just ordinary love. Let me hold you in my arms. Oh, love, that familiar drug. Okay, so we've got some sort of narrative about like killing one's inner self or being murdered by one's inner self, being embraced by death, love in death. It's like very dark. Bang, bang, and it's customary, America stole my fate. And then, yeah, I'm not sure what like the bit, like she looked like me. Maybe it's like a reflection on like, the image I'm getting is like someone being sent off to war and being told to kill somebody who looks exactly the same as you. You know, it's like, oh shit, we're all just people at the end of the day, you know, but it doesn't matter because I'm dead. You know, it's that kind of thing to me. This is going to be a very long video if I don't get on. I could sit doing these lyrics forever. But yeah, let's go to the next one. This is Killing Time. Ooh, nice swung vibe.
Spend my days patiently, call it killing time.
Ooh, nice. I like the fusion of like more like traditional laid back kind of rocky vibes and synths. Love this. I think it's like a whirly piano, is that what they call it? Where it's like the Wurlitzer.
I don't care.
Cool. I love that synth as well. Very round and nice.
Without life, without me,
I love that. Ooh. I love these slightly like horror-y kind of moments. Oh, yeah. So cool. Love.
we call it killing time.
Yeah. Okay. There's more existentialism to this as well, like just killing time, like until we die type thing. I love these jubilant kind of moments though. There's this feeling of like existential dread underneath, but like there's still so much joy that it's not one thing or the other. Wow. You know what I was saying about the synth design? It's back. Nice, nice. Oh, it's getting rockier. Yeah, it's getting really metal. If time is meant for living, why is it killing me? Yeah, it's really existential, huh? I love how it's morphed from something quite laid back into something like quite intense, stressful. There's always time for killing and never time for me. Very cool. Oh, okay, and then we're gonna go straight into the next song. Love it. Yeah, there's a lot of like existential dread in that. And I loved the transition. It was almost like it was threatening, like this idea of killing time was just like boredom, right? You're just killing time, whatever, like until you get to the next thing. It seems to be like until the nighttime comes in. But then the idea of killing time with the existentialism building up into this more rocky place, suddenly killing time becomes like you are wasting your time on this planet. You are going to die and you're not using your time. You know, that's the meaning switches, you know, and it's like, and I really love how the sound of the song really replicates that by using those kind of really like heavy distortion and like really getting those like chunky metal guitars kind of coming through more, you know, you know, yeah, really cool. But like a song that could be enjoyed as a like a deep dive into existentialism or as like a laid back, you know, just like purely surface level enjoyment kind of vibe, you know. It really kind of had that kind of, you know, central kind of poppy primal kind of thing where you're just like enjoying it for what it is, you know. Spend my days patiently waiting for night to creep. I love that. Like the night just doesn't come, it creeps, you know. Chasing clouds, counting sheep. I don't know why, but we call it killing time. Oh, always killing time, always killing. Yeah. Ugh. I don't care if I don't sleep, but someone better pine for me. Yeah, without love, I'm without me. I don't know why, but we call it killing time. Never getting mine, always killing. So it seems like she's waiting for love. And in that time, it just feels like she's not even existing. Like without love, I'm without me. Like until I fall in love again, like what's my purpose? But until then, I'm just going to be killing time, you know? I don't think and I don't speak, but someone's got it out for me. How much longer will it be? I don't know why, but we call it killing time. I'm never getting mine, always killing. I love the kind of simplicity in this, actually. It's like verse that seems to be phrasing a new kind of like thought and then the same thing, then the repetition of the, oh, never getting mine, always killing time, you know. I'm looking in the mirror and swallowing the key. So more like self-reflection. It only takes a minute to forget a week. Wow. Shit. Counting up all the years that we spend asleep. If time is meant for living, why is it killing me? God. Yeah, this like really stressful idea of time going too fast, you know. You live a whole week of your life and it takes just a minute to forget what you've done and move on to the next thing, you know. It's like the pace of life is so stressful. And like, it really is like getting represented in this moment. You know, you spend a third of your life asleep and it's like, this is killing me. Actually, if I'm skipping this time, I'm skipping more time towards death. It is killing me, even though it's the thing that's keeping me alive, you know? It's really, really existential. She's like so in her head in this moment. And it's something that's so relatable. I'm 31 and like, I mean, I feel like I've started to like worry less about it now. But I mean, I still have these moments where I'm like head down in, you know, doing work, focusing on like these things that I'm passionate about. And yet I still have these moments where like, I kind of like take a step back and I just think, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, but then there isn't really an answer. And so you just kind of go back to it, you know, that is the answer, is just going back to it, you know, just living, really, that's it. But there are, you know, these moments of like thinking about purpose and thinking about like, what am I doing on this earth? What am I doing with my time? Are like all encompassing at moments, you know. That's really what I'm getting from the album so far. Like totally. Okay, let's go on to the interlude. True Blue interlude. Lovely. It's going to be Madonna. Is it going to be Billy? So many True Blues. No, it's their own version. Nice chords.
The
Say.
purest you. Next stage, the next phase is here.
Ooh.
Instinctive, impatient, impossible.
So maybe we're moving on to
Hello.
beyond existentialism and into something kind of self-actualizing, maybe?
Something is so
Wow, gorgeous chords.
It's been there all along.
Oh.
You've mother's mother or your child's child in dream or awake. Say hello. It's you.
It's you, the purest you. Is there something about being sad that represents something true? Maybe that's what she's saying. Oh, gorgeous.
It's here. Imaginal disc. It's you.
Okay, say hello, it's you. So self-reflection is such a key thing, right? Like, she looked like me, seeing myself and killing myself, looking at yourself in the mirror, and now it's like, say hello, it's you, you know, the imaginal disc. Maybe it's like the idea that like your own perception of you is all you have, you know? As human beings, all we have is our own perception of the world. And maybe this imaginal disc is like a freedom, a place within your imagination to explore yourself and kind of understand yourself, you know? Yeah. I mean, like, considering we were quite existential to start with, I'm feeling like maybe we're going to have more of like a freedom in this section. That's what that song seems to be promising for me. Yeah, really. And I love the sound of it. Like, just adore the sound of it, actually. You know, synthy stuff, really fun chords, really unexpected little sound moments. Yeah, gorgeous. Say hello, it's you, the purest you. The next stage, the next phase is here. Instinctive, impatient, impossible. In memory, mirror, and membrane. It's here, say hello, it's you. Something's inserted or taken or examined. Something lies dormant inside and it's been there all along. Or you've swallowed it and you spit it out 10 years or 10 minutes ago, reflected in my eyes or floating behind yours. And your mother's mother of your child's child, a dream or awake. Say hello, it's you, the purest you. Divine digits, the nightmare lifts, it's here, imaginal disc, say hello, it's you. There's a real sense of like maybe coming into yourself. I feel like there's this feeling that when you're really young, you are you. You know, you don't overthink anything. And then you take everything on from the world and suddenly like you're trying on new things, you're like exploring yourself, you're editing yourself for other people, you know, within your like teens and 20s. And you get to a point, I think, where late 20s, early 30s, where you just start to settle into like another pure version of you. I feel like that's what she's starting to say is like after the existentialism, once you can kind of like deal with that to a certain extent, because I don't think we ever truly deal with that, then you can settle into a version of you that feels pure, you know? Yeah. I feel like this is like written for my age right now. Be interesting to see like how old they are, like how old they are when they wrote it and stuff, because I feel like I can pinpoint them as being like 30-ish, you know? Cool. Let's go on to the next one. This is Image. Ooh. Okay, fun. I love that slamming door sample.
What's the best you've got?
Cool. I've got a dance beat, but with their like weirdness going on. No idea where the key is at the moment. I feel like it's changed already like 3 times. Yeah, it's so weird, isn't it? I love it. Ooh, ooh. Love that synth there. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Clean Bandit, this song. Early Clean Bandit, just to put that out there. I've got common sense. Let's begin. It's so strange, the song. But then the chorus feels like hooky, you know? The chorus centers it in something. Oh, it's like that bass line is like so distorted that it's like breaking the amp. It's like when you're going to see like a band in like with a really cheap setup. Explosion. There's something really cartoony about that. I really like that. Yeah, like more with the fun sampling vibes, right? I felt like I started at the beginning being like, this album's going to be about sampling, and then it kind of wasn't. But that one was. And that kind of explosion sample seems to be quite, you know, poignant. I think that's like not only sonically kind of giving it this kind of point of kind of dirtiness, but also like, you know, explosions are bad. You know, I really enjoyed that. Reminded me of Clean Bandit. If you haven't listened to, you'll know Clean Bandit for like, you know, Rather Be and Symphony and their big kind of pop moments, which I adore because, you know, I love a pop song. But like their first album, there's songs like Mozart's House and A&E particularly, like have like such a like experimental feel where it's like the merging of like proper classical music, you know, chamber string quartet vibes with house and electronic music. And there's something so beautiful about like the combination of those sounds. And it almost feels like, I guess, like if you were to compare those things that are combining electronic and classical, this is more like combining electronic with rock music. Like that's kind of the vibe I'm getting. And it has that kind of similarly really interesting point of friction between almost like two different sound worlds coming together. Really cool. And that one was really dancey as well. I mean, the chords in the verse were like really sending me. I was just like, I don't really know what is going on. But then the chorus like really settles you down. I feel like if this whole song was in this kind of like no key zone, then it would like feel unsettling. But like they managed to kind of pull it down with this like really like more simplistic chorus. What's the best you've got? I forgot all my common sense. I need all the common sense. Time to start the clock from the top. I need confidence in medicine. What's the best you've got? Maybe they're like asking for like medicine for their mental health or something. But oh my God, 22 more minutes. Oh, so hot. Meet your brand new image. Interesting. Maybe it's about like prosthetic, not prosthetic. Like not plastic surgery, but you know what I mean? Like things to change your appearance, like drugs to change your appearance, or like cosmetic, there we go, cosmetic things, it seems to be, because it's like, oh look, here's your new appearance. Oh, you're so hot, you know, it's like, yeah. Or maybe it's like filters, I don't know. But oh God, make me in your image. Oh, so hot. Through a two-way mirror. Only one more minute. Meet your brand new image. Yeah, there's a sense of like image and your self-image being improved by certain things, or the promise that like improving your self-image will improve your kind of inner life, your mental health. But I feel there's a cynicism in this song that kind of maybe says that there are other things to contend with existentially, you know, that maybe won't be solved completely by these things. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, I like that. Really cool. And it leaves it kind of open to the imagination. And maybe there's not a cynical thing in it. Maybe that's more like my biases on existential things. Yeah, it's very interesting. Okay, let's go to the next one. This is Death and Romance. Ooh, disco. Love those chords. Ooh, love that. Nice. Ooh, love it. Oh, yeah, love. Oh, love that bass. Oh, that's so cool. That bass was foreshadowing the chorus. Oh, I love the syncopation. I'm obsessed. Love it. Oh, this song is really sending me. Oh, this song feels just nice. It's tickling all my bones. The complexity in the production with like single kind of note moments over the top. Oh, and then it comes together. So I love how live the drums are. I love this. Oh, love. I also love the drum fills come in like after the beginning of the bar. I'm obsessed. Rising Wind. This is fucking sick. I love this. I've got chills. This song just comes together so well. Wow. Yum. It's all that you have. Give and you give till it's all that you have. Oh. Okay. Where are we going now? Next song? Yeah. Love it. Oh God, I love an album that flows from one song to the next. I'm obsessed. That was the best song so far for me. Wow. God, that came together so nicely. I'm just obsessed with that rhythm. Like, like coming in, or the syncopation. But even like the drum fills, it's like, you know, and it's like, it really kind of gives you this like real lovely feeling of surprise every time it comes in, because you think, oh, we're going to come in on the one, but we don't come in on the one. The drum fill comes in the one, and you're like, suddenly go, oh, and then you're like, boom, and it's like, oh, it's just great. But yeah, and then like, I mean, the production was just all over the place in such a beautiful way, like really kind of throwing things in, kind of creating this kind of magical kind of world to live within. But then it was kind of pinned down by this like central, like kind of very recognizable kind of drums and piano thing, you know? You could imagine it in like a jazz bar, in like a, well, maybe not a disco concept in the end. It kind of started sounding a bit like that, but it's, yeah, more like almost like jazz, yeah, because it's like, because you've got the drum beat going on and then you got the, you know, someone doing all the piano stuff. And it like really, yeah, like it kind of had that kind of almost like sense of relatability, like pinning it down. So it just had that like gorgeous kind of contrast. Oh God. And then just it went to like some amazing places, like throughout. And I loved the verses, like particularly like the first verse. The bass was foreshadowing what the chorus was going to do, but like within that rhythm, you've got the voice just kind of going, like doing just like long notes over the top, the melody being really simple. It's just again a beautiful contrast. Like, but I love the contrast between the rhythm and then the voice going over the top with no rhythm, but then them all coming in together for the chorus just sounds so satisfying to kind of go from something elongated to, you know, like, oh, it's tight. And can you tell I liked it? Oh God, so good. Tuesday on a red star. Are we too late? Are we too far? I wait hours for your car. Are we too late? Are we too far? My hands, your hands, I'll hold forever. No way I'll break hold, no, not forever. Yeah, I give and you give till it's all that we have. You know, nothing is fair in death and romance. Classic Shakespeare referencing. Is that right? What's fair in love and war? Maybe it's not Shakespeare. I don't know, whatever. This idea of romance, like, I give, you give until it's all we have. We are just one being and then we die. You know, it's like, it's not fair, but it's real. You know, it is fair, but it's not fair, but it, do you know what I mean? It's like not fair that it has to end, but you know, there has to be some kind of payoff, right? If you're going to have a beautiful life, then you have to pay for that. We came very existential today. Monday through an echo feels like heaven, feels like heartache. You run streetlights like halos. Oh, that's beautiful. As the rain falls, are we too far? I love these like beautiful images. Feels like heaven, feels like heartache. There's always a sense of the two sides of the coin, you know, the real and the fantasy. Streetlights and halos, you know. My hands, your hands, I'll hold forever. No wild break hold, no, not ever. This dance won't end, it goes forever. Romance and death keep us together. Yeah, it's almost like a sense of the cyclical human experience, you know, like, we love and then we die, and then we love and then we die, and then we love and then we die. Do you know what I mean? And like if you think of the disc, there's a circular thing. Both sides of the same coin. It's all playing into itself, you know? Yeah, it's stunning. Love that song so much. Next song, Fear, Sex. Death, romance, fear, sex. We're getting, yeah, two sides of the same coin, you know? Ugh. This could have even been just one song together, you know? Maybe that's kind of the idea. Gorgeous. Ooh, I was like so low into a full sense of security there. I love that choice of chord. It's like an element of alarm, but then an element of like, you know, warmth and relaxing, you know. That's the fear, isn't it, you know? Nice. Oh, hello. Oh, that's kind of scary, huh? I love the idea that they're playing with like opposing concepts, and each song isn't just one thing, it's both things kind of merged. Yeah, wow. Is this the next song? Yes, it is, yeah. Wow. Really cool. So almost like a kind of almost like intermediate song that didn't really have like a obvious verse chorus structure or anything. Yeah, it almost feels like a kind of like, what would you call it? Like a coda or something, like a outro for the previous song, like a suffix to the previous song, you know, death and romance, fear and sex. So you stand in a broken war, you fall upon your sword, cheers to what you have. You said forgive and forget, then got me into this mess. Through an open door, I'm where I was before, cheers to what we had. You said forgive and forget, so get me out of this mess. So it seems like the end of a relationship, right? It's like maybe if the previous song was like enjoying the beauty of romance and thinking it's going to last forever, and then suddenly like, oh, whoops, you're going to fall upon your sword. I'm going to end the relationship. You said forgive and forget. But like now I'm in a place of like turmoil and mess. Yeah, through an open door to where I was before. So it's like, you've opened the door, we said goodbye to the relationship, and I'm back where I started. And now it's your fault and I'm stuck in this mess. I'll surrender to the voices in the end. Oh, Christ. Should have known those dirty bastards would put wires in your head. Huh? Are you there all alone, lost? Maybe it's like, maybe the relationship ended because the partner was like, there was something political that was kind of like put wires in your head from the horrible people. Yeah, maybe like persuaded by shit on the internet or something. Are you there all alone, lost in forever? Please don't die alone overhead. I'll surrender to the voices in the end. She's like, somebody got to this person that I was dating and now I'm alone again, and the fear of dying alone has now come back. You know, that's the fear, right? It's the fear of dying alone. Stunning. Yeah, like really central theme is like truly this existential, like, God, am I wasting my time on this earth thing? Let's go to the next one. This is Vampire in the Corner. I love this the warmth in this already. Proper analog synth vibes.
Vampire in the corner, am I scaring you off? I think I might have loved you too much. Baby, vampire in the corner, just a bump in the dark. I love you too much.
Loving the vampire in the corner. Vampires live forever, right? Maybe it's like trying to seduce the vampire so you can live forever.
You're my Valentine. Sorry, like a flower that never gets any. Let the bees do their buzz. Baby, starting the flood, my God.
There's so much detail within the lyrics, you know. A lot of electronic music focuses more on the sound and keeps the lyrics simple, but like this, it's got such intricacy in the lyrics, like, and it really is painted by the production, you know.
Told you 1,000 times.
Oh man. God, the padding is like really intense. So not used to having like really far forward bassy sounds. Hand extreme left and right. Cool. Nice. Okay, next song. Yeah, cool. I mean, I love the flow of this. Such an interesting song, that one. Like, kind of has this like almost like cozy feeling to it, especially at the beginning. Yeah, and then talks about like seducing a vampire, basically. Kind of a different vibe again, like taking it somewhere a bit smaller, a bit more intimate. But then it still has these kind of big blowout moments. Vampire in the corner, am I scaring you off? It's like so funny, this image of like, you're so over the top wanting this vampire to fall in love with you so much that like a vampire is scared of you, you know. Oh, I want to dance, I want to learn how to love. Someone call the coroner because you're breaking my heart. Love it. My God, I think I might have loved you too much. Baby on a burner, am I throwing things off? Oh, I didn't mean to make a fuss. Vampire in the corner, just bump in the dark. My God, it's only because I love you too much. I want to make you mine, told you 1,000 times I'm your Valentine. I want to show you round, don't want to let you down, but you're my Valentine. There's a sense of like really being desperate to fall in love with somebody, even if it's somebody who's going to literally suck your blood dry and kill you, or maybe turn you into a vampire. And I think maybe that's the kind of the idea, right? You know, the last relationship didn't work out. I'm scared about the end of my life, and so I'm going to fall in love with someone who's going to have love for me eternally, you know? That's really, I feel like, quite a central kind of feeling here. Sorry, like a flower that never gets any sun. I hang my head down like the bees do their buzz. I love that image of it. The sunflower with their head hanging down. I think that really is the central feeling there. The promise of eternal life, the promise of eternal love. Avoiding these existential questions at this point, right? Let's go on to the next one. This is watching TV. I like this vibe. Very TV-like noise there.
Too much watching TV.
Right from the inside out, wasting time again. Ooh. Cool.
Just wanted to say I miss you.
Ooh. Nice. Okay. Again, more interesting harmonic directions. Acoustic guitar. So the first time I've heard acoustic guitar so far, I think. Wow. There's a lot of menacing little sounds that get introduced at different points. Oh. Cool. Wow. Okay, it's glitching. Cool, okay. This one's really going to lots of places. Cool. Cool. It's kind of unraveling, isn't it? Like, I just love their synth design. Like, it really like makes me really want to like start like working on my own synth design, you know? Love it. Oh my god.
It's time to meet.
I love the drama in all these songs. Like, they really are going from like small to big. And that is scary shit. Yeah. Then on to the next one. I love the way this album's flowing. It's so stunning. It's also the kind of stuff that like on one listen, you're never going to be able to hit every single little detail. But there's something so beautiful about like songs that manage to balance like detail with immediacy, you know, because like it gives you something to latch onto right away, but then also gives you something to dig into after multiple listens, you know. Yeah, so stunning. That one was really kind of was getting quite scary, especially that ending chorus, like, and the existentialism is coming back. It felt like almost like the romantic moment was almost like a moment of respite from existentialism, and then for it to all just come back again, you know, after death and romance, you know. Too much watching TV is going to rot you from the inside out. If you want to reach me, just leave a message and we'll work it out. Hello, how are you? Just wanted to say I miss you, so call me back someday. Yeah, so there's a sense of like post-relationship, feeling very sorry for yourself. This person's not calling you back, and so you're just watching TV. And there's a sense of like, yeah, like, again, following on this idea that like when she's not in love, she's just waiting for death. You know, like it's those existential feelings start coming back in because you're not like preoccupied with something. Yeah, it's pretty dark. If you want to be clean, you've got to scrub until the blood comes out, get the spots in between, slip your skin right off and hang it out. Christ. So it's almost like cleaning the insides, you know, sorting through your trauma maybe. Look behind you, the shadows are near. They know what's been wrong with you all these years. It's time to meet the monsters around you. It's time to meet the monsters inside you. So there's a sense of the, yeah, like self-reflection, post-relationship. Again, lots of time alone, lots of time to think. And suddenly the monsters that have been hiding within you that you've been ignoring are coming to the forefront, and you have to come face to face with them. You know, all that's left to bother me are dreams forgotten in the deep. It's not me. Nothing left to follow me. Nothing hanging underneath. Time to meet the monsters around you. Time to meet the monsters inside you. So it's actually, she's now thinking, I'm going to have to reckon with the monsters around me, like the real world, like society, politics. Stomach's rumbling. Every time I get to like almost 11 o'clock, it's 11 o'clock right now, my stomach's always like, time for food, even though it's not even lunchtime. Anyway, yes. So the monsters around you, like politics, the real world, and the monsters within you, your own trauma and reckoning with your own self. Again, yeah, we're looking at, there's a sense of self, understanding yourself, being alone and understanding yourself. Yeah. Okay, next song, Tunnel Vision. Well, we're starting off scary. But again, with that contrast, you know, the fear and the joy overlapping one another all the time. Love that drum. Wow. I learned to follow one and suddenly I can breathe. Wow. Yeah. Don't worry about all those problems. Get your tunnel vision, get your blinkers, and just keep marching. It's kind of scary, but you can't exist within a place of existentialism all the time, so you kind of have to have a sense of tunnel vision, you know? Can I get out? Can I get out? Nobody else can see. So cool. Again, this like merging of sounds. Nice. I love the drums are really live in this album. Cool. kind of seems like it's flying through space, shooting things down like pew, 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 pew. But still, it's got that kind of central rocky feel, you know? Cool. Amazing. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, it's really going into the metal again here. It does feel like the metal sounding moments are like, is it an allegory? Is that the right word? For existentialism and fear, you know? Yeah, we're definitely associating this dread with the metal sound. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, such an interesting concept, like that song, like the idea that like sometimes you need tunnel vision in order to just cope with life. And there's a certain amount of like once you kind of get to a certain age, you kind of learn to just get a bit of tunnel vision, you know, focus on what's in front of you. And there's different ways to put it. This is like almost like a dark kind of way of putting that feeling, you know, almost like the truth is like not within your vision, like you're cutting out the truth, almost like kind of Matrix vibe. But then the other side of it is like, well, actually, maybe we're all better off cutting out the truth, not knowing the truth and just living within our own simulation, you know? Yeah, that seems to be the real battle within this album, is like this feeling of like, yes, I'll be absolutely fine. I just need to focus on being in love. I need to focus on my life, myself. And yet the existentialism keeps breaking through. It's like she can't quite settle into that feeling. Like she's constantly pondering who she is and what's her purpose. Maybe as a result of being alone and not having something to distract her, you know? And it's so brilliant the way that like the sound represents like this kind of like truly existential thing, that both sides of the coin at all times, or both sides of the disc, shall we put it like that, you know? Like this idea that like everything that happens in the universe has an equal and opposite reaction. And so everything that happens in every single song has equal and opposite feelings within them. You know, it's like, if we're truly going to go existential, let's really wrap that up into the sound of the album. You know, these cutesy childlike moments followed by really like gritty, dark, you know, metal rock sounding things, bright and beautiful kind of soft synth lines underpinned by like really like dissonant chords, you know? It's like all these kinds of things are all happening at once, and it really is summing it up sonically, musically, and of course like lyrically. She's really completely lost in her head, and you're kind of lost in there with her, you know? It really feels like a fever dream. I turn my headlights on, and suddenly I can see. Oh, there's a sense of like headlights being tunnel vision, because it just shows you what's in front of you and the rest is darkness. I learn right and wrong. I learn to follow one, and suddenly I can breathe. Yeah, just following on the path, and suddenly I can actually breathe. Suddenly I'm okay, you know? I turn my headlights on, then I turn them off. When they're off, you have no direction. You see everything that's wrong. You start spiraling, you know? Then I get tunnel vision closing in over me. Forget with love as my witness. I can stand on my feet. I fall back, then I see tunnel vision closing in over me. I fall back, then see. So there's a sense of like maybe like she forgets that she can actually operate alone for a moment. And she has these moments of like spiraling, because she's like, oh God. And the love is the witness, you know, because when she's in love, it's fine. But like when she's not, it's like in between being able to be okay alone and not, you know. Maybe it's like learning to be okay alone, learning to kind of switch on the tunnel vision when you need to. I burn my candle out so no one else can see. And I'm scared of all my parts, because suddenly I can see everything wrong. It's this really dealing with like looking inward and finding all these like traumatic things and not knowing quite how to cope with it. And then switching it off and turning your tunnel vision back on just to be able to like cope, you know? Yeah, amazing. Okay, next one. This is Love Is Everywhere. Ooh, nice.
Inside through holes in the sky, the fallen days bring tears. Always watching. Dreams so big of a high, sunny side up and ready to fly.
Sunny side up and ready to fry. There's almost like a forced optimism here, you know, because this like optimism is undercut by this like theremin style sound that kind of is spooky, you know. Yeah.
Always doing what I should. I turn back to right if I could, yeah.
It's kind of groovy, huh? Those like robotic voices are like a little bit scary. It's just like, it's almost like a kind of 60s hippie vibe, you know, like love is everywhere, But yeah, it's certainly, again, like even like something that's on the surface quite a positive, like optimistic song, there is this like undercurrent of like chromatic moments and robot voices and stuff that undercut it and kind of give it this tension and like a screaming there, like, yeah, there's always this point of tension that cuts through. Cool. It's so cool to kind of have something that like supposed to be like classic kind of, like a classic kind of hippie, like 60s, like groovy mini Ripperton, I don't know, that kind of vibe. But it's like da, 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 or like kind of reminds me of the musical Hair, like 70s kind of hippie vibes, you know, love is everywhere, and there's kind of a hazy dream, but throughout there are moments where like the nightmare is threatening to cut through, and it's like it's just so great that fits onto this album in such this like part in like a real conceptual way. Let's set up a song that on the surface is supposed to be this like obvious thing, but like is really undercut by a theremin, which is like particularly used within like horror soundtracks. We associate it with horror soundtracks, like old horror movies, like, you know, Frankenstein's monster and stuff, which kind of also because it gives it this cartoony thing, and then also like elements of the production of like screaming chromatic stuff within the chords, you know, that undercuts it. And it's like more of this idea that there's like two sides of the disc, you know. So clever. It's so clever. I just love like how the concept really runs through. I think that was something that I really loved about the first album as well. But it feels like this one almost like goes to more like dramatic places than the previous one, from what I remember. I haven't listened to it in a while. This one has like real like really dark moments and then real kind of jubilant moments, and the two ends of those things crashing together, you know. Love is everywhere if you want it there. Look inside, through the holes in the sky, the fallen days bringing tears to my eyes. Well, heaven's always watching dreams so big of a hive like mine, sunny side up and ready to fry. I love that. There's also kind of romantic imagery, but again, the romantic imagery kind of has this darkness to it, like the holes in the sky kind of like is like the second coming or something, do you know what I mean? Like, and it's like lost days. Maybe it's like feeling like you haven't been able to appreciate love because you've been lost inside, and now you can like look up at the sky and maybe start to appreciate it more. But the fear is still there, you know. Always doing what I should, I'd turn back, do it right if I could. Yet always doing what I should, start thinking about the bad and the good. Bit by bit, you shovel it, building an image to judge you for what you did. Wrap it, pack it, throw it with all the shit. There's always room for love. Yeah, so then it's like, as much as like you want to be able to just live in this positive headspace, like the anxiety starts coming through. You start thinking about like if you made mistakes and what you did wrong, and it starts building up within your head, and you start judging yourself for what you did in the past, and suddenly you're like getting buried by it, you know, you're getting buried alive bit by bit, you're shoveling it and you're burying yourself, you know. Maybe there's a sense of like heaven being like the thing that's supposed to help you deal with existentialism as well, you know, because that is almost like the point of these things within Christianity, is like a kind of ethical guideline by which to cope with existentialism. That's kind of what Christianity is, you know, the soul, heaven and hell, all that stuff. So maybe there's a connection to that too. Next song, which is a little one, it's a little in between, a little interval, feeling disc inserted, which is fun. This image of like someone inserting a disc into her head is pretty amazing. Anyway, let's go. Maybe the disc is like meant to be the operating system, you know? It's like we're trying to install the way by which you're supposed to live your life, you know, but it's getting rejected or something, or it's like got a scratch on it, you know? I think that's, yeah, it's cool. The crowd has come back. Ooh, cool. Gorgeous. That sounds like arguing, you know? Yeah, cool. Yeah, like the crowd there kind of turns from cheering to like arguing, maybe? Feeling disconcerted, Maybe this idea that the disc is supposed to be the operating system and there's something going wrong, you know, it's almost like she's like, I'm supposed to be following like my training, you know, I'm supposed to be following the program that has been inserted into my head, and yet it feels like it's glitching. It feels like I can't actually just put my head down and keep going, you know. Look inside through the sky, all around us, angel on a satellite, glad you found us. So more looking inside through the sky. There's, yeah, like self-reflection by looking outward, by looking towards the sky, looking for optimism. Angel on a satellite. Yeah, we're like definitely going into the realm of like, yeah, heaven and hell, religious ideology that's supposed to help us cope with existentialism. Maybe the disc is religion. I don't know. Yeah, it's cool. Right, next one. This is That's My Flaw. That's a great title. It's not yours, it's mine. Cool. The live drums are a real part of it here, aren't they? Like, I feel like they've really made a point to keep the drums really live most of the time. It's almost like the grounding property. Cool. Nice. Catchy, huh? I love how they like lean into the hookiness sometimes, you know? God, that guitar is so merging of rock and electronic. Cutesy versus rocky, you know, it's cool. That's my flaw. That's my flaw, that's my door. Ooh, hello. Maybe there's a sense of like staying inside, avoiding social contact. Nice. I love those guitars. I let you open me. So cool. Obsessed. Oh, next song. That's My Floor. I'm obsessed with that. That's so cool. Really leaning into the rock on that one, like properly. Like I love the groove of it. I love the vibe of it. Like that really was just an enjoyable vibe. Again, another song that on the surface is kind of an enjoyable rock song, but has so much more detail to unpick, you know? You could hear that on the radio and it would like go down treat, you know? But like there's still so much for you to dig into as an avid listener, you know? It's such a great combo that I try and strike with my music. Somebody left a comment on the song I put out, like my most recent song I put out, and they said, really enjoyed the song, approachable, like poppy enough, but with enough detail to keep it interesting. I was like, thank you. It's like, that's great. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Tell me when I whisper in your ear, does it make you want to disappear? Nasty little something said to turn you inside out. Took the elevator in a fire. Pressing the alarm just took me higher. Never really noticed you're a sentimental guy. That's my floor. And coming up to the party. Oh, okay. So you're in an elevator and you're like, oh, that's my floor. Like, I'm getting off here. I want more. So open up for me. Life's a chore. Floating above the lobby. That's my door. I let it open me. It's really surreal, isn't it? Like everything's kind of upside down in this song, you know? La 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 la. Do you know what's waiting down the hall as your body pinned against a wall? People used to think about the meaning of it all. So maybe if I opened up my mind, I could really learn to look alive. Oh my God, that's so good. If I learned to open up my mind, I could learn to look alive. Like it really sums up like this existential question that she's been asking herself the whole time. Like, can I learn to look like I have my shit together? Because at the end of the day, that's all anybody does, you know? Never really noticed I'm the transcendental type. Ew. That's my floor. It was very like dreamlike, you know, floating upside down. Oops, shit. A lift that goes forever and ever and ever. But like getting off for a party, it's all very like everywhere. Maybe it's like a state of mind of like trying to do real life things, but everything feeling crazy because you haven't, because you're kind of unhinged by this existential thing and you can't get out of your head. Even when you're like walking down the hallway to a horn, getting in the lift, your brain is going off, firing off in these crazy places because you can't like focus on real life, you know? And then she's saying like, maybe one day I'll learn to look alive, you know, rather than being completely lost within this. But today's not that day. Okay, next song. This is Cry For Me. Please cry for me, Argentina. Right, let's go. Ooh. I like the kind of video gamey moments, like retro video gamey kind of sounds. Oh, hello. Talk about horror movies. This has like a Blade Runner feel, doesn't it? It's almost like Blade Runner crossed with like an old horror movie. It's the synth beat with the dramatic chords and strings. Again, more with the groove. Like they're really focusing on like these grooves that are pinned down by real drums, you know? That's kind of the thing holding it to the ground, even though everything else is like, oh, you know? Maybe it's meant to be like the drums are the body and everything else is the mind, you know? Albums like this really just inspire like all these kind of crazy thoughts. Like it's just like so creative that just makes your brain just like fire off all these cool ideas, you know? Cool. Wow. Now we're really in the movie, aren't we? Yeah. There's such a wildness in their music. They have these moments of just almost like completely unhinged, like completely, yeah, truly wild kind of experimental moments that are just so fascinating to listen to. And yet they're pinned down by these grooves and really recognizable kind of rocky, jazzy things, you know? Cool. I love the like using the strings and the kind of classical instrumentation as well, you know. Nice. It almost has like a ABBA feel. Is that strange to say? I think it's the piano, the chords. It does. I think maybe it's the vocal as well. Her vocal's definitely feeling more and more unhinged as we go on, isn't it? Like, yeah, shit. Wow. Oh, I love that. Oh, so cozy. Like, I love that. I love the feeling of, I love using environmental sound effects. You know, I mean, I know you know that because you've heard my music. And like, there's something that can be really told with putting you in a space, you know, like thunderstorm, rain hitting on the window, like, ooh. Yeah, another great one that really just like plays with this like idea of like these opposing feelings crashing together in the middle, you know. Thinking of you from a road that has no bends, bound to get lost, but the dogs don't stand a chance. I'll take all your thanks and all your sympathies, cry for me. It's like, oh, poor me, you know, wallowing. Plenty of time here to nurture consequence. If you don't hear back, then God has other plans. I leave all my dregs to my progeny. I don't know what that means. Fate lead me astray, take me whole and wash me away. All along there was a story, spare me all the allegories. Oh, I just used the word allegory. She's like, stop. Share a little kiss and that's forever. Think of love when you remember me. I'm standing right over here. Yeah, there's like a kind of dramatic sense of like I'm wallowing in the drama. Everybody cry for me, you know, everybody like, when I'm dead, you'll all remember. It's the kind of that kind of thing. All along there was a story, spare me the allegories, please. Oh yeah, down on my knees, share a little kiss and that's forever. Think of love when you remember me. Yeah, down on my knees, like more religious imagery, you know. She's definitely pondering the idea of religion and thinking maybe that's could be a solution for her. I think it's something that everybody kind of goes through. They think, actually, maybe they have it all figured out, you know, as a atheist from birth, you know. Sometimes, yeah, there are moments where I just think, actually, maybe life would be simpler if I just had that tunnel vision that kind of like devout religion gives you, you know. Yeah, at least the kind of spiritual aspects of it rather than obviously the organized aspects of it are like fucked. And that's the reason that I've never ever touched with a barge pole. But like, there's an element of the spiritualism that you suddenly start thinking, wow, okay, maybe this could be a good way to cope. I don't think I'd ever really truly be able to settle into that because I'm too much of a cynic, I think. But like, I think I choose to put my kind of spiritual energy into art. You know, like for me, like music, art, video games, movies, the art within those things is where I choose to focus all my energy and all my time, you know, because I feel like that for me is like a meaning, a way of coping with life. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the next one. This is Angel on a Satellite. So yeah, the religious imagery is there. We've mentioned the angel on the satellite before. Maybe this is her trying to find this like religious figure to follow, you know. Love the storm with the piano, so cozy. I like those drums. Is that bongos? Ooh, gorgeous, warm, oh, so nice.
Turn to stone and
Beautiful contrasts.
at the same time. That's
Ooh,
why
hello.
a damn man played that thing. Makes me think of summer when through your eyes everything is brighter all the time.
Through your eyes, everything is brighter all the time.
So shouted from the mountain.
Maybe it's seeing the optimism through someone else's eyes. That's almost like the satellite communicating. I love that, like, we've gone to something far warmer and subtle, but then still with these little moments of, like, production that take it to this alien, exciting place, you know? Nice. Oh, I love the strings. Oh, God. Musically, again, lots of borrowed key-changey moments. It's very sophisticated musically, you know, compositionally. Oh, God, that movement there is so nice and warm, isn't it?
Everything is bright all the time. Angel on the satellite.
Oh, lovely. Oh, it's gorgeous. The coziness is so real. I love it. The combination of that intimate piano and the acoustic guitar is just like so nice and warm. Ah. Wow. And there's like a fucking machine gun going off. Yeah, something always has to undercut it, doesn't it? And right at the end, it's like, you know? But that one actually, out of all the songs, that one felt more straightforward. That one seemed to, for the most of the song, not have this fear and darkness cutting in. So maybe that represents a moment of learning for her where she can kind of finally settle her worrisome brain, you know? And maybe like this angel on a satellite figure is like a North Star, you know? It's really next level kind of like thought out, you know? Yeah, it's amazing. 1,000 eyes turn to stone in monochrome. Surprise, surprise. They turn to smile at the same time. That's why I don't look up. That's why I'm always dancing. I feel like that's a representation of religion, right? 1,000 eyes, like they're all turned to stone. They're all the same. They all just follow this organized relationship and they're all looking at the sky. And she's like, that's why I don't look up. I'm just trying to avoid that. I just keep dancing. I just keep pushing through because she doesn't want to become part of the machine. Damn, man, play that thing makes me think of summer winds and places that I know, just the ones I love to go. So music, I think. I swear that through your eyes, everything is brighter all the time. Everything is turning off. And damn, man, play that thing. Keep on pulling at my strings. Yes, I never want to stop, she shouted from the mountaintops. You always see the sky, angel on a satellite. Feels like her angel on a satellite, her vision of hope, the guiding star that's going to help her through this is music. And that's the drama she's saying. Oh. Play that thing, pull my strings. Through music, I can see everything in a better light. Music is is my way of coping. Yeah. I never want to stop making music. You know, it's just, yeah, great. And it's like the idea of dancing, you know, dancing to music. Oh, yay. I can't believe that, like, I literally just before this song was talking about how music has become my way of coping with life. And she's now written a song that seems to be maybe it's like just my biases, you know, but that's what it says to me, you know. Music takes me to the place of summer winds. Music takes me to that place of comfort, strikes up memories for me. It can be comforting, but also guiding, you know, like it lets me see the world in a more positive light and it pushes me forward, you know. Yeah, so good. Right, just another cut in edit to say, this is a shout out to all my patrons. Thank you so much to everybody who supports me over on Patreon. Obviously, this video originally was actually an album request, and you can actually request not only albums, but songs, and like I have like a 4-song artist request here as well over on Patreon. Yeah, so there's loads of like exclusive content. You also get the extended version of my podcast, and it's the best way to support me. As you probably know, YouTube is not very good at paying creators a fair amount of money. For instance, if I put a video version of my podcast out, I earn absolutely nothing from that on YouTube. Not a penny at all, because of the algorithm, despite the fact that actually it's, you know, review, it's considered fair use, and actually I should be able to make money on that content, but I don't, because algorithm, because corporates. Yeah, so Patreon is the best way to actually support me directly. And if you think that what I have to say and what I put out there is worth a little bit of your money, then that's the best place to go. I literally do absolutely everything myself, 100% of everything I do. Filming, editing, audio production, distribution, promotion, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, YouTube community, like everything. Yeah, so any money that you do pay me over on Patreon is literally like split between me and the tax man. So, but yeah, thank you to everybody who already does support me. You are really making it possible for me to actually do what I do, and I love doing what I do. I love talking about music. So yeah, cool. Let's go on to the final one. This is, where are we? The Ballad of Matt and Misha. Is her name Misha or Mika? That is them two, right? Ooh. Again, like, with da-da-da-da-da-da over the top, you know? It's almost like persevering with optimism, even when everything's fucked, you know? Nice.
I keep kicking the stone.
I love how dreamlike all their songs are. They really evoke that feeling, don't they? Whoa! Hello, Jesus Christ. I love that tune. Oh, hello. Cool. Let's slow down. Wow.
Two kids in a new town, baby. Small town thing.
Nice.
Happy ending down the
Oh, yeah. Happy ending. Almost feels like the end of a musical, doesn't it? Like, it's so bright and cheerful, isn't it? Like, this kind of feels like their attempt to maybe end the album on like, oh, we've come to the end of the story and we've managed to sort all our things out. But I'm sure there's going to be an element of darkness and cynicism in there.
Two kids in a new town, baby.
Two kids in a new town. This one does really trying to take in the joy of what it is they get to do, which is create music and travel around the world, you know? Oh. God, those drums are fucking lovely. Never far away, is it? That, like, dread, you know? The fear. Amazing. Oh. Confusing sometimes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're just gonna they're like, oh, here's our happy ending song. And then, of course, they're gonna leave it on a note of like, you know, it feels so intelligent to be like, have this entire thing of like questioning the meaning of life, questioning, you know, all these like super existential things, you know, like being alone, coping alone, dealing with love, dealing with death, dealing with everything. Then to kind of have this cynical, like, happy ending. Oh, we've managed to answer all these questions for you. And there you go. It's so clever, you know, like, because it's obviously these questions are never answered. You just have to learn to cope. And that's really like the learning of the album, is this idea that you find ways to cope, whether it's looking at the angel on the satellite, whether it's using music, whether it's just having a tunnel vision and shutting everything off. There are different ways to cope with existentialism. There is not an answer, you know? And yet they've written a song that's like, here's the answer. You know, here's to wrap a nice little bow on the end. And I kind of love how they've obviously thought, well, you obviously can't wrap a lovely little bow on it. So we're going to do that, you know? It kind of feels like, yeah, like cynical and like funny and almost like, ha 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 ha, you know? It's that vibe. I just love it. It's so good. So many incredible levels to this album that you can just like pick apart, like details, and it's deep, you know. Long way into nowhere, 2 years from home. Most days are for nothing. I keep kicking the stone. Fly high, overzealous, past paragon. That's why I'm the greatest, that I keep shining the stone. La 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 la. Open heart, old cliche. 2 kids in a new town, baby. Is it my turn? Small time fame. Bang bang and a happy ending. Down the line through my veins, not ordinary. Oh, is it my heart? Is it my name? Oh, the La Love is back again, and a song to carry, killing time every day. Oh, so okay. Bang, bang, never ending. Is it my luck? Is it fate, not ordinary? Yeah, they're referring back through the album, these things they've learned, connecting it through to, you know, the fact they're still killing time. Really? You know, at the end of the day, everything's just killing time. Even this like success as musicians, traveling the world, blah, 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 still just killing time. You know, we're still just waiting for it all to end. But, you know, this is their way of coping with it. They just keep going, you know, just like so genius. I really just love the way that they conceptualize their albums and just like give you this like full story and then set you off in every single song. It's like wondrous level of like detail and complexity. It's almost like overwhelming. I feel like maybe like they might not ever be able to quite go really central because like their sound is like so experimental and playful constantly, but I quite like that it exists in that place, you know, with different authors, different courses, and it's really nice to kind of have stuff that has like some of these central sensibilities of songwriting. You know, we've got like the kind of rock elements, we've got some little jazz elements, we've got the pop elements, and yet like everything always feels like it is left of center. It has this like extra point of view to it, and yeah, like it's just so genius. I feel like the thing that my main takeaway is this idea that like it's so fully conceptualized in every single song. There are moments of contradiction and contrast, and like even in the happiest song, there's this existential fear just like creeps through, and there's something so visceral about that energy that they've created in this album with those kind of juxtaposing feelings, because they've really like some moments they've really gone ham on the like happiness to really just like undercut it with some like specific, not only musical choices, but production choices too, that really like undercut it, you know, and really tell you there's something more going on. Potentially, if you were to listen to this in the background, you would kind of be like, oh, this is kind of fun and dreamy and mad, like cool. But when you really listen, there's like all this like dread and fear and like existential, I've said that so many times, existentialism throughout the entire thing. It's the two sides of the coin. It's the two sides of the disc. It's all these different things. And there's so many different takeaways that you could take from it. It's like really just a cornucopia of like creativity. Your brain could fire off in a million different places as to what it could mean to you, you know, and that is really just something so amazing. But yeah, they have really, really gone to try and tell you a story. You know, even throughout all the madness of the songs, there's still this central story, and that just brings it all together so beautifully. Truly, they're doing something that no one else is doing, and I love it. Yeah, another great album. I love the first one too. Thank you so much for requesting this. Loved it, absolutely. Like, yeah, sending all my brainwaves off in all the right places. Thank you for checking out that reaction. Make sure to leave your top 5 songs from the album in the comments for me. I think you can probably tell that my favourite song was Death and Romance. That's the one I've been listening to in the months since filming. But yeah, if you want to check out my Magdalena Bay Mercurial World reaction, it's over on Patreon now. And if you want to check out my David Bowie discovery video, it's here.